down this road, the LAPD, the FBI, the CIA, they're all gonna come for you. They'll find you, and they'll stop you. Good luck.
Hello and welcome to the Parking Lot Projectionists podcast. My name is Andrew Neeson.
And I'm Raymond Megaton.
And today we just watched Taken 3. So Raymond, give us a summary.
Taken 3 is a 2014 action crime thriller. An ex-government operative named Brian Mills, accused of ruthless murder he never committed. As he is tracked and pursued, Mills brings out his particular set of skills to find the true killer and clear his name, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't look at it, Raymond. It's your enemy.
That that
Yeah.
damn movie that we just seen, because that shit really is your damn enemy. It was a film. Well, you know, it's the last movie in a trilogy that really didn't need to happen. But
Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. That was stupid.
yeah, the beginning. It probably is a good place to start with this bullshit.
Okay, so we start in Spain, Russia.
Wait, we was in Spain. We was in Spain, Russia. I thought it was in
We were
America
in
still.
Spain. Well, there was no credit for actually shooting in Russia, and we saw a credit for Spain in the end credits. So I just assumed that it was Spain, Russia at the beginning of the movie. The
This
guy's name
is
is
just
Malenkov or whatever the
Stupid. Anyways,
And then we both turned to each other in the theater
So,
whenever we
dude,
saw his bowl cut. And
we saw, yeah. So evil Lloyd Christmas is the villain in this movie, which they didn't market at all, which they should have, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm pretty sure a lot more people would have came to see this if they'd have known evil Lloyd Christmas was the villain in this movie. For real. Yeah, you start off with some dude walking his dog.
Raymond, you forgot one thing. It
What?
starts off with some husband asking, "Honey, have you seen the checkbook?"
Yeah, he want to know where the checkbook
Most
at.
stereotypical thing you ever heard.
Yeah, honey, where's the checkbook? Instead of, honey, where's my debit card? Where's the black card you spend all my money on, woman?
Oh, it's in the living room.
Yeah,
Oh, the coffee table.
it's on a coffee table. But he's asking her that. Turns around, he sees henchman standing there, smiling at him with a goofy ass face. Hey, we going for a walk. Bring the dog. But he opens the trunk and there's a Dalmatian in there.
That Dalmatian in the truck.
He just
For
murdered
no-
this innocent Dalmatian.
reason.
Well, yeah, because the wife knows there's a dog. He could just say, I'm taking a dog for a walk. And then she'd be like, ah. The dog would have still been there. It would have been barking. Then he would have been like, oh, shit. Now she knows I'm cheating on her. He probably wasn't cheating. Anyways, the dude dies. He goes.
It's probably better for the audience's sanity if they think he was cheating. That way they don't mind that he didn't die. Okay.
No, that
never
fool
mind.
dead.
You
No,
sure
that,
he's dead?
that fool dead.
I
He
thought
went
he
up and down.
I thought he was the guy who picked up Liam Neeson at the gas station. It's like after the second car explosion. I thought that was the same guy for some reason.
Are we talking about the henchman or the
We're talking about the random guy he jacked at the end. I thought it was the same guy that got stuffed in the safe and was supposed to be dead.
No, that wasn't the same guy. That
wasn't
dude
the
was
same
like
guy?
bald headed. That other dude had hair with a
See,
hat on.
I thought the whole
Andrew?
point was that he was going to find out from Liam Neeson somehow that he knew Malenkov and he was locked in a safe for a few hours or something. And he was going to take him to Lloyd Christmas.
Nah, Lloyd Christmas killed that dude, bro. Because you know, you got to do that. Villains got to kill somebody so you know they serious.
All they did was lock him in a safe.
I mean, if you saw Lloyd Christmas just talking to somebody like he was a badass, you wouldn't take him serious. So you had to kill somebody. Lloyd Christmas had to shoot him and murder him, then lock him in the safe with the body, which was stupid anyways. He just left the safe open so people could see it.
It was a deadly penis shot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't shoot him in the head
Shot
or the
him right in
chest.
the crotch, and he
Shot
instantly
him
died.
in his balls. I don't know how he just instantly died too from a ball shot, ladies and gentlemen. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know you could die from that.
And then he locks him in the safe. But what's the point of shooting him if they're going to lock him in the safe? If they lock him, they killed everyone around. Why would they shoot him before locking him in the safe? Because I was like, oh, wow, they're going to lock him in a safe and he's going to suffocate to death.
No, they
But they shot him.
They shot him and he called the dude. It was like, I'm leaving you a present. It's a dead body. Spoiler alert. And
He doesn't care.
yeah, he just spoilers. I'm leaving you a dead body. And he shuts the safe. And was that connected to the stepdad? Like he worked for the stepdad or what?
By the way, this is a spoiler podcast.
Shit. If you didn't realize about that. Anyways, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, so Malenkov did not work for him, even though it came across like it worked for him whenever he was being interrogated by Liam Neeson at the end of the movie. It turns out he just owed Malenkov some money, and he wanted to keep Liam Neeson out of the situation, so he got him tangled up with the police.
It turns out there's a new stepdad from the first movie that's in this one now. This is a completely different stepdad.
It's a new stepdad?
That dude was not the same dude from the
not the
first
same
movie.
dude.
This dude for the first movie was old and bald. This dude was
Dead giveaway.
young and middle age. I mean, I could look it up, but he might have the same name.
So after the romantic stuff between them in Taken 2, she just decided, nah, and she just
and found a
married
new
somebody
dude.
else.
The same.
Because whenever you say it's an old
character.
guy, it makes me think that he must have died off screen, and they inherited all his wealth, and then he just married into the wealth through Femke Jensen, if that's how you say her name.
Femke Jensen? I was just saying James. Man, it's Phoenix. Y'all know who Phoenix is. Was a guy named Stewart?
Yeah.
Xander Berkeley was the original Stewart. I guess he was like, I'm not coming back for this shit. That's what he looked like. Recheck his IMDb.
All right.
All right, he just labeled as Stewart for Taken 1. Taken 3, the guy's name is Stuart St. John, who is Doug Ray Scott. So new stepdad is the main villain. In the first movie, they mentioned something about the stepdad doing deal with the Russians. They could just say that the stepdad had plastic surgery or something.
To make him look more like the villain from Mission Impossible 2. All right, so we were at the opening scene.
Dude got in the car with the dead Dalmatian, and they took him. Oh yeah, all right, skip all that shit.
Yeah.
Went to the safe, killed the dude, locked him safe, called him, spoiled him, said, I left you a dead body in the safe. Evil Lloyd Christmas did this shit. There you go see Liam Neeson's character, Brian Mills, in his everyday life. He's buying a present for his daughter because it's her birthday again. We saw that shit in the first movie.
I do not remember the first movie, so thank you for reminding
That
me.
was the first movie, was like the beginning of the first movie was him buying presents for his daughter, and he goes into her birthday party at the rich fancy house with the stepdad, and the stepdad got a pony. Remember that part?
No, I don't remember.
He
got
like
a
bought
pony.
her. I don't know what he bought her. He bought her like a Game Boy or something. The stepdad brought out he brought out a pony.
Personally, I would prefer
pony.
the Game Boy over the pony.
I know. Well, she's a girl, so
Sexism.
yeah, she wanted the Game Boy over the pony. The pony over the Game Boy. Sorry.
The bony?
The bony. Ooh, spoiler alert for that too.
Speaking of bony,
But
turns out that she is pregnant. That is the next thing that we learned, is that she took a pregnancy test and it came out positive. We could probably have recognized that just by the worried expression on their face, but in case you didn't get it, they gave you an extra shot of the actual pregnancy test as well.
it was like, y'all stupid. Let's show you what's going. Look at this. And then for some reason, Liam Neeson and his particular set of skills didn't pick up she was pregnant at that moment. It's like talking to us like, yeah, you want to drink some wine? We about to get loose as a goose, yay! The boyfriend walks in, was like, hey, what's going on here? He looked like a shady character too. I really thought he was gonna turn out to be some kind of villain. He wasn't.
He was more of the victim in this movie. He didn't know what he was getting into by
didn't.
impregnating this woman.
She probably didn't tell about the past, about how she was traded to the sex slave operations in Europe and all that.
Oh no, he could have some.
He could have some kind of virus, some kind of STD.
Poor Jimmy.
This poor guy.
little
His
Jimmy.
name was Jimmy?
His name was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I remember it because that was the first name that I found out in the movie, was him calling him Jimmy, and then I had to learn everybody else's name because I forgot from the first two. Hey,
was
there you go, Jimmy. Jimmy was so happy. Poor Jimmy and his sexual transmitted
He was
disease.
very happy, but I just didn't like the cut of his jib. You know, he was giving off a vibe to me. I think Jimmy's going to be the villain in the next movie. Anyway.
Oh, no, but you figured out who the real villain of the next movie was in a diner scene later.
Oh, yeah. This is, Anyway, all right. We'll get to that. He's talking to his daughter. Well, Dad, I'm just not in the mood for any drinks right now. I'm depressed. Can't you tell? Dad's like, well, okay. I'll leave this teddy bear with you. She's like, no, Dad, just take the bear and go.
There's some wonderful reaction shots of this panda just staring at this scene going on. They cut to him twice, just sitting there, just staring at everybody like,
the panda is the unsung hero of this movie. He was just the best.
There was no panda payoff at the end of this movie. No panda payoff.
He should have came back. He didn't help Liam Neeson save the day. Very disappointing stuff, minus a point.
Liam Neeson is completely detached from reality. He's out of touch with his daughter. His wife has died. He's got nothing left, and he forms a bond with a stuffed panda. And they go on fighting and doing spine stuff together. And he has bad guys treat the panda with respect while he's torturing them. You will treat this panda with respect. He just sits at the end of the room. He's like the bad cop, and Liam Neeson's like the good cop. The panda's just sitting at the end of the room.
Panda is just inanimate object, and he's yelling at them, respect this panda, otherwise I'm going to shoot you. Oh, the panda's going to shoot you. Panda's holding like a toy gun or some shit. Let's see. Anyways, he gets a booty call from the ex-wife, Phoenix, from the X-Men movies, and he's like, all right, girl, I'll come make you some dinner. So she comes over, and they start getting hot and heavy. But he's like, no, I can't, because you're still married to that idiot Stu. And she's like, oh, you're right. Why you always have to be so brave and honorable like a knight?
Is that, whoa.
Huh?
Is that what that is?
What? Being brave and honorable like a knight?
Like a knight. There's a lot of knight imagery in this movie. They had the knight chess piece that Forrest Whitaker carried.
That was very weird. Forrest Whitaker
was a dark knight with rubber bands and bagels.
So racist. You just called him a dark knight. Anyways, Forrest Whitaker was another just out-the-box character in this movie. We'll get to him soon. Yeah, the wife was all like, yeah, I'm ready for you. Take me now. Nah, I can't because you're still married to Stu. Y'all need to work out y'all problems. Even though I really, really do want you. But I gotta go kill some villains. I didn't mean to do that on the podcast. I'm sorry, everyone. She leaves. He goes golfing with his buddies from the first movie. Were they even in the second movie? I don't remember. I don't think they were.
Apparently, this movie is a big nod to people who are fans of the first movie. I have not seen either in a long time.
So the friends who were in the first movie, who you got to see at the beginning of the first movie, who he's playing poker with, they play a much larger role in this one, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that aspect of it. Especially that one guy. His friends were quirky. I like the friends. They were cool sidekicks.
That was the one surprising thing, that they actually reincorporated them into the story. They didn't just set them up to leave them again, like in the first movie, I assume.
Yeah. Well, this one, spoiler alert, for anybody who don't know, it takes place in America this time around. Unlike the other movies that took place somewhere overseas.
Somewhere that required a budget.
Somewhere, yeah, and they was throwing grenades and shit, which could have started World War III. But, Americans throwing grenades in foreign countries is okay.
Yeah. She wasn't even concerned about that, was she?
Yeah, she could have threw it and blew somebody out. They didn't give a shit. She was throwing grenades so you could hear what's going on in the next room or some shit like that. Then the
steward comes over.
Yeah, so he's playing golf with his buddies, and he gets the text message or a phone call. It's like, hey, girl. She's like, hey, I'm ready for that booty call again.
Want you to butter some of my bagels, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he wanted them bagels. And Stewart came over like late at night while he was like chilling, which was strange because I was like, who is this dude? Just showed up at the door. He's like, hey, Stu. And I was thinking, and then that's when I realized, okay, this is a completely different actor than the original Stewart from the first movie. Stewart was like, yeah, I want you to stop seeing my wife. Stu's, trying to interrogate Liam Neeson, which is a bad move, but Liam Neeson's all like being honorable and shiverable and all that shit.
2 cups of sugar in your tea.
Yeah. He was like, you want an extra cup of sugar, bro? Even though you banging a woman I love and I hate your guts. He's like, I guess I'll take a few cups of sugar. Leave my wife alone or I'll kill you. Liam Neeson's like, I'm not in that life no more. I do. I'm tired of that shit after the second movie. Just please leave me alone. He's like, all right, I'm going to Vegas. We're going to film Hangover 4. He left.
Which is, he's a bad guy at that point. I just assumed he was a bad guy for the majority of the movie until a certain scene happens.
Yeah, I did too, until he was talking to Forrest Whitaker at the police station, and he was trying to cover for Brian. So he leaves, Femme for Phoenix tries to come over, get that booty call. She ends up dying. He goes to get bagels, comes back, sees her dead body. It's like, oh man, I'm crying. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? So
He didn't have to. I was upset that they didn't give him. I was kind of almost about to get into that moment, and then they cut it so abruptly for the cops to come
the
in.
cops showed up immediately. Like, he just looked at the body for like a few seconds, tried some revival techniques, and then he was like, we got a call about a screaming woman saying he gonna kill me.
They didn't even give that scene time to develop. He didn't have enough time to weep a little bit. Like, I would have bought it if the cops barged in after he had had time to pause on it for a bit, and then all of a sudden he notices something that belongs to him, or he notices certain things that are set up around the room to make it look like he's the guy who did it.
Have him cry a bit.
Yeah, have him cry and then slowly
At
realize,
least one
oh,
tear
no.
come down his face. Nah. So cops burst in. They're like, get on the ground. He's like, I didn't do this. And then he's like having like a panic attack or some shit. And he gets on the ground, and then he realizes, oh shit, I'm Liam Neeson. I do what I want. Attacks the cops. They chase him all over the goddamn street, all the while evading the cops. None of the cops realize this dude's not shooting at us. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe we shouldn't have drawn our guns on him. We could have sat him down, talked to him like a normal person. He runs into these people's house. I guess he knew the people. We never go back to them. In their garage is a secret manhole cover underneath a car where he just jumps in.
And this was our first time experiencing how the action is going to be in this movie.
Yeah. It wasn't action. It was chase sequences. Pretty much everything was a damn chase sequence until the end of the movie.
There wasn't even flow to it. It was just always chop, 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 chop,
It was
chop,
a
chop.
very choppy editing going on there.
I love at the very beginning that somehow Liam Neeson manages to trick them. He's going down an alley, and there's a dumpster on the left side of this alley that clearly has a huge gap on the right. The cops could drive around. He starts running towards that dumpster, and they're following him too closely to swerve out of the way of the dumpster, and then they have to stop at the dumpster as he walks around it. And for some reason, the guy backs up and acts like he can't go down this alley. But this dumpster is clearly not blocking enough so that a car couldn't get past it. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh no, he walked around a dumpster. I gotta find another way around.
Yeah. Bullshit. Anyway. So Liam Neeson, he gets out of the water. He starts contacting people, contacts his daughter. He's like, oh my God, they killed your mama, but I didn't do it. And he contacts his buddies, and he's like, I'm going to the Bat Cave. So he goes to the secret Bat Cave. And he pulls out
League of Shadows found the Batcave.
Yeah, he goes to the Ra's al Ghul cave in L.A. He sets up shop. Forrest Whitaker comes in. He's all like, last king of Scotland and shit. He's like doing the typical Inspector Gadget type shit that detectives do in movies where they, like, hey, I'm gonna get you. Don't worry.
But then he starts to truly shine whenever he sees the hot bagel
Yeah.
on the table, and he takes a bite. And he is satisfied.
Forrest Whitaker
sir.
starts looking through all the lady's stuff because the other detectives are stupid. And he comes to an epiphany that, oh my God, I need to eat these bagels even though they're evidence. So, which nobody yelled at him about. He didn't get in trouble for that shit at the department.
And then he says his famous line after he eats the bagel.
Damn, that's good. So he said, oh, that's good. Is that... He smacks his teeth in this movie. So Forrest Whitaker got a catchphrase called like he's a schoolgirl. Liam Neeson starts doing some investigating shit. Oh, this is just fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. He clones her GPS, and he sneaks into the police station. Idiots don't know, it's easy for him to just break into the police station. It's Liam Neeson. Do what he want. He just
He was just there.
Telephased in there somehow. Clones her GPS.
Oh yeah, he definitely can telephase, which we will learn later. He can definitely telephase.
Oh, yeah,
we will learn later. He can telephase.
Shit, he a telephaser, y'all. And I don't even know if that's a real word, telephase.
It is now. We're
using telephase for ridiculous ass shit.
Telephase 3. Telephase 3.
Telephase 3. Liam Neeson, he
was taking the GPS, yeah.
He closed GPS, realized she went to some gas station or some shit where supposedly that he texted her from. So he goes there, the girl at the counter's like, I ain't see that bitch last night. And he's like, damn, rude. So he goes across the street, apparently to the real gas station. And the real gas station tells him.
Yeah, I was wondering where this diner. I thought it was the gas station. I thought it was like maybe just like one of those Burger Kings that you see attached to a gas station. But apparently he walked into a diner that was nowhere near a gas station where the GPS
It was across the street from the gas station. He didn't go to the gas station.
Why did he go to the gas station?
He went across the street and to this diner and started asking this woman, who obviously is a very hardworking American, and he just interrupted her day.
Patriotism on the part of this woman.
he just interrupted her day, and
she looked incredibly annoyed. Too.
She was just
she stared him down.
God, I hate this movie already. And we just want to do her job, and he comes in and starts asking questions. And she's like, "You idiot! You got the wrong address. It's across the street." So he leaves and goes across the street. And the guy's like, "Sure, I'll cooperate with you. Here's the camera footage." And he's looking. And it's like some paranormal activity shit on the security cameras. He can't see, Phoenix is jumping all around, and he sees she gets kidnapped and shit like that.
He did. At one point, whenever they were reviewing it later, I thought it almost looked like they were watching the Ring tape or something.
Like some kind of ghost creature's gonna pop out eventually and take Phoenix on the. But it didn't happen. It was some guys pulled up in a van.
You see,
dude had a tattoo.
Yeah, Raymond. I just assumed that Taken 3 was going to be a metaphor in this movie. Instead of somebody actually getting taken, I just assumed that she was going to die, and thus, metaphorically, she was taken from them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's what it was, too. You mean like, oh, they actually took her, then killed her.
They took her first.
It's called Taken 3, Andrew. Duh.
Well, we can't just be subtle and say she was taken, like as in killed.
No, she actually has to get taken. You can't have a movie called Taken without somebody getting taken.
The metaphor was clever.
It was clever, but then, she's taken forever out of their lives.
Yeah, we were discussing that earlier, folks. Taken forever.
Taken forever. Ooh, I know a movie.
Taken to the grave.
Taken to the grave. Shit. Now that's
that would have been a title. The two of you who are listening right now, would you have you would have loved for this movie to be called Taken to the Grave.
Or the next one will just be Taken Forever, and then the last one will be Taken to the Grave.
And then Taken and Robin.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, so the two Forrest Whitaker's henchmen, sidekick police officers, show up. So they show up and they arrest Brian Mills.
But you remember what happened while they were arresting him?
The dude who was just sitting there was watching the whole thing?
No, they were both yelling at him like, "Sir, stop what you are doing. Back away from the computer. Sir, stop with the computer. Yeah. Sir, stop with the computer."
And then the dude
about a zillion times.
Then the last time they yelled, one guy says, "Take one step back."
Take one step back.
They were yelling at him, and he goes, "Take one step back."
Like they're already negotiating with this guy who's not.
He didn't even have a hostage or nothing. He was just looking at the paranormal activity on the computer. So they take him. They arrest him, quotations.
See, at first I thought, okay, Liam Neeson wanted to get taken.
Ooh, people get taken all over in this movie.
Liam Neeson wanted to get taken to the police station.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go to the police station, get locked in the cell. They have like a breakout sequence, like they do with with the villains in movies nowadays. But the good guy gets to do it this time. No. Yeah, that's not what happened.
And he would take like the information and try to find a picture of a guy with a tattoo in their database while he was there, because there was a tattoo guy in the video back at the gas station who took Femic.
Instead of, I'm gonna just go out and say it, instead of Liam Neeson beating up these two officers and just walking to their police Jeep Cruiser thing where there was a computer already at and just taking the information, we had to have this ridiculous ass, I'm not even gonna call it an action scene. It was a chase sequence where he gets into the police car, they're driving to the station. I guess he decides at some point, okay, I'm gonna pull out my bones out of my hand and unlock the handcuffs.
It almost looked like he was pulling out the handcuff crackers out of the handcuffs themselves.
Somehow he was the master of the handcuffs.
He installed them beforehand.
He installed the handcuffs himself and then unlocked the handcuffs. For some other strange reason, he was in the back of a police cruiser. I have never seen this shit before in my life. In the back of a police cruiser that did not have the cage that separates the police from the people in the back seat.
That was really, really stupid.
Just dumb as shit.
You got Liam Neeson.
They wanted to set this up. It was like, well, how do we do this? We just take the cage out.
Yeah, we left him with Phillips. You mean Phillips, the guy who doesn't have a cage on the back of his
like
police
that.
car?
I'm talking about like
Phillips?
out of script. Like somebody read the script. It was like, wait, he's gonna attack the cops. There's normally a cage where the perp can't get to the cops, right? So how's he gonna do that? Is he gonna pull out his lightsaber and cut through it? No, we never thought that far. That's a completely different universe. We can't let him do that.
Forrest Whitaker thought ahead, though.
Yeah,
Forrest Whitaker was like,
you
you guys are morons.
He's like, he's playing you. You guys are morons. Y'all took the police cruiser that didn't have the cage in it.
And this
you
is
dumbasses. And he knew that.
And then this is the part where we find out that nobody likes Forrest Whitaker. This is the first time we find out that nobody likes Forrest Whitaker because they hang up on him and they're like, yeah, right.
He thinks we idiots. Meanwhile, one of his hair's on fire or some shit. They hang up. Forrest Whitaker's like, you idiots, he's playing you. You put him in the wrong cruiser. Liam Neeson breaks out, beats up the cops, and for some reason, this cop listens to what he says, drive right now, go faster. The cop goes faster for some reason.
I was incredibly confused about that because of the shaky camera and how tight it was.
Yeah.
I did not know that he was holding a gun to him the whole entire car chase until afterwards when he told him to get out.
Apparently he had a gun or his arm was wrapped tightly around his neck. Or
yeah, so I was like, why
the cop should have just slammed on his brakes at one point because Liam Neeson was not wearing a seatbelt, ladies and gentlemen, which did not happen. He's just driving and somehow he magically jumps on the other side of the road. Oh, and they have the random ass 18-wheeler just show up for some reason. This one was carrying a crate. He drives by it. Somehow the 18-wheeler, the trailer shifts, and instead of it stopping, the momentum of it breaks the restraints that are holding the crate. And the crate runs over two cars that aren't even involved in this chase sequence, hobbles over them, crushing them, and then it lands completely in the middle of the street, which didn't affect anybody involved in the chase sequence.
Why did this need to be there?
It was just the stupidest thing. This is not why. We just need to film
Raymond,
it.
Was this in the trailer or any TV spots that you saw?
I haven't even.
This cart.
I seen that trailer one time, and I was like, "That's enough for me." I was like,
"Because it feels like
you really just wasted my time with this shit."
Because it was CGI, so I feel like somebody added it afterwards. Like this, there's nothing big happening in the middle of this car chase. We need to add something really, really cool.
And it didn't affect any of the cops who were chasing them because they were on the other side of the road. But for some reason,
we're killing innocent people.
You have to murder like an innocent person caused by Liam Neeson and a cop who refused to slam on brakes and just sent Liam Neeson flying through the windshield.
Raymond.
Huh?
Weren't the people who were hit by the crate going towards the crate, even though it was on the wrong side of the road?
I believe you are correct. Somehow,
I didn't even realize.
Apparently, some other cars jumped from the other side of the road too. Maybe they were involved in chase sequence. We just didn't get full sequence with them because they were, I don't know. The editing? This is just the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It was just a bunch of civilians who decided, hey, I want to drive on the other side of the road. Now's my chance.
Oh my God, these guys are having so much fun. I'm going to go do it.
Let's do it.
And then they died. Then they died. They were trying to have a good time.
It's like, oh man,
and they
this
were
is
murdered,
so great. And then squish.
Then they got damn, this is just the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
At least they had a good time, Raymond.
They were having a good time until they died. And then, he sets up some elaborate ass shit in a convenience store where his daughter goes in. And
I was wiping my nose, and then Raymond thought I was gesturing that he had something on his nose, and he started freaking out.
Put my fingers in my nose because Andrew was he's looking at me. Andrew's looking me in the eyes, doing this with his nose. I thought, oh my God, something's in my nose, even though these people can't see me.
You gotta wipe that off for the first episode.
They see you, Raymond. Oh God.
So
Fresh
back
air.
to Liam Neeson can't get in contact with Maggie Grace
Maggie Grace was
because they have bodyguards all around her. Compliments of Stuart's insistence. Stuart, the stepdad.
yeah, Stuart. She was like, Stuart, you asshole, why you got these people here? I don't want these people around me. Stuart was like, it's just for extra protection, baby girl. And she was like, I fucking hate you. And then she walked away. Oh, we skipped the funeral. He wanted to go to the funeral.
Oh yeah, he wanted to go to the funeral and. Oh wait, we didn't get to the climax of the chase, Raymond. The police chase.
Oh,
remember?
what happened at the climax? I completely forgot about it.
Oh my gosh, you gotta remember this. The climax of the police chase, everybody. All these cops are chasing him. He's alone in the cop car now because he told the other cop to get out. And all of a sudden, Forrest Whitaker goes onto the roof. He commandeers a chopper. And then the editing gets super crazy. You just see 1 second or millisecond shots of cars turning. You don't know where anything is. And at one point, Forrest Whitaker is... you just get a random shot of Forrest Whitaker pointing down at the road like, there. Because he can't follow the editing either. Forrest Whitaker's confused about the editing as well.
Forrest was like, I have no idea what's going on right now.
And then
Please.
they end up cornering him in a parking garage. He goes all the way up to the top of the parking garage, and all that's left is this elevator shaft. And they have him cornered in with tons of cop cars surrounding him, and his cop car is backed up against an elevator shaft. And then the elevator shaft
my God,
opens
now I
for
remember this
no
shit.
apparent reason. This elevator shaft opens for no. Oh wait, he slams it.
He crashed into
slams
it. He put it in reverse, crashed to this elevator shaft, falls down the elevator
It is
shaft. This is at
scraping
least
all the
about
way
4 or
down.
5 stories, ladies and gentlemen. 4 or 5 stories. Goes all the way down scraping. While it scrapes the gas tank. His car sparks and blows up.
It blows up.
Before all that,
It blows up. Oh, what do we say before
he
that?
got all the he got the information that he needed, which, like I said, he could have just beat up the 2 cops at the gas station and used their computer, but he had to use the computer in the cop car that didn't have the cage. That's probably what it was, Andrew. The cageless cop car had the best computer. So that's what he did.
He rode with the Geek Squad.
The Geek Squad of the police department.
the Geek Squad, literally the squad.
Yeah, that squad. And he jumped down the
the car backed up into the elevator shaft, scraping all the way down.
Gas leaked, a wire sparked, it blew up. Half the parking garage was gone. Just disintegrated.
There is a super long wide shot, helicopter shot of the whole entire side of a parking garage lighting up in a huge column all the way up, boom, 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 and then a huge boom at the top.
You would have thought a villain just blew some shit up.
That's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie. So he's like, oh my God, it's the end of the movie. Liam Neeson just killed himself.
Liam Neeson is dead. They did not show Liam Neeson escaping from this, guys.
Dude didn't escape from the car at all. At all.
There's no evidence to suggest that he made this out alive.
He went down the shaft with the car. The car blew up. I was like, Andrew, it's the end of the movie. He just died.
Yeah, it's got to be a plot twist or something. Like Maggie Grace is going to have to finish this.
That would have been an excellent plot twist.
Yeah, especially since she was trained in Taken 2.
She was trained to throw those grenades at shit.
She was trained.
My God.
And she didn't get to do anything in this movie.
It would have been great if she...
Except for a little thing at the end. She does a little thing where she nudges somebody at the end, and that's probably the director saying, well, I gotta give her something to do because she was trained in Taken 2. We'll have her nudge the main villain at the end. Okay, sorry.
And so,
yeah.
Oh, now I'm just upset now because the movie should have picked up with Maggie Grace.
Maggie Grace kicking butt.
Liam Neeson died. Supposedly we thought he died. Apparently he telephased everyone.
Yeah, the very next thing we see after this massive explosion is Forrest Whitaker standing on a helipad on a skyscraper roof, and he gets a phone call, and then it just cuts to Liam Neeson talking to him on the other end. A shot of him talking somewhere with no scratches, no burns, nothing.
Yeah. He telephased out of that car. Forrest Whitaker's like, man, just turn yourself in, bro. And Liam Neeson was like, I don't think so. I'm not going to turn myself in. I got to solve the mysteries of the universe. And he hangs up on Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker goes, shit. Okay, he didn't say the shit part. He just does his little catchphrase. Script doesn't want to work in my favor. Yeah. So the funeral, he was like, he told his friend. The friend goes into the bat cave with him. He tells the friend, I want to go to the funeral. The friend puts a camera on his jacket so he could see the funeral. The other guy, one of the other friends, uses a device because Forrest Whitaker's like trying to see if he'll show up there. He uses a device to stop them, jam their signal from them using a microphone at somebody's funeral, which should be illegal. I think it would have been illegal, right? I don't care if it is a murder case. If people are having a funeral, you're going to just audio tape their funeral? It's fucking weird.
You get to see the wonderful character building trait for Forrest Whitaker where he likes to fiddle with a rubber band whenever he's thinking hard.
Forrest Whitaker fiddles with a lot of shit in this movie. He's fiddling with a rubber band. They didn't pay off the chess piece, I don't think.
No, they didn't do anything with the chess piece.
That's when he's like, he's going to make contact with you, Maggie. I'm sorry, Kim. That's when Liam Neeson sets up the plot to where she goes to the convenience store, she drinks some poison, and she throws the cup away.
Her father told her to drink poison.
Her father poisoned her.
Yeah.
So when she went to school,
he somehow knows her exact routine because of his specific set of skills. He knows her entire itinerary, which is incredibly creepy. He knows exactly that she likes to grab a certain type of drink 4 rows down of the drink because she wants a fresh one every single morning at the specific location on campus of her college.
He's very nervous because she got taken in the first movie, Andrew. Just got to make sure it doesn't happen
It's
again.
incredibly creepy.
Yeah, she's poisoned. She goes to school. She tells the Asian girl next to her, take notes for me because you know you're Asian and you're the best at it. And
college professor's doing a comedy skit or something with a bow tie on.
Dude had a bow tie on.
He's just
having a damn good time for some strange reason.
So
and,
the ventral vein is what? He's just doing a little Seinfeld skit up on the front of the class.
Yeah, the teacher was something else, everyone. But
props to that guy for making the most out of his role.
He did. You know what? Shout out to that dude. He should have been at the top of the credits. Screw those other 3.
Get
we'll
to
get
that
to that later. She goes to the bathroom. He's in the bathroom. They're in a stall together. A father and a daughter in a stall together. Very weird shit.
I didn't think it was weird at all, Raymond. Were you weirded out by that?
I was very weirded out because, you know, when people get in stalls together, you know what happens.
What happens, Raymond?
Magic. So they get into the stall and they're talking. Then she just lets out the next spoiler alert. Everybody, get ready. I'm pregnant. Oh, we talked about it already, but Liam Neeson's
We
particular
completely
set of skills.
skipped that diner scene where you find out who the villain of Taken 5 was at the beginning of the movie, where she was trying to tell him earlier.
There's a lot of unnecessary shit. That's why I forgot about it.
Yeah, there was a random diner scene at the beginning of the movie where she
trying to
tries to hint about getting a puppy to Liam Neeson, and he's like, "Oh, a puppy's almost like a kid," and she's like raising her eyebrows all cartoonishly, like "waka waka." He doesn't pick up on that.
Some kid throws meatballs on the floor, and he was like, "Oh, that's gonna be trouble in the future. I'm gonna have to kill him and take him to the grave." And she was like, "Oh, yeah."
If you said that in the movie, I'm gonna have to kill him later.
I'm gonna have to kill him and take it to the grave when he gets older, and I'm in a wheelchair or whatever, or got a robotic suit on.
That would be a good one for Taken 4, though. For after Maggie Grace has her baby, someone steals it, and you call it Taken from the Womb.
Ew.
Or something. Okay.
That's what it's gonna be called. So Maggie Grace goes and she goes to the bathroom, talks to her dad. She tells him, "I'm pregnant." He's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to be a granddaddy. I'm so happy, but I'm still so sad that your mom's dead." The cop who was following her was like, "How you doing up in there?" And he calls for backup. Forrest Whitaker shows up again. And then they have another chase sequence, ladies and gentlemen, with them chasing them in the hall of this school, it was a college. Yeah, it was a college.
It was the science building of the college that did not look like a science building at all. It had plain lockers and everything.
Wait a minute. So this girl she was in middle school or high school in the first movie?
I have no idea.
She's been in high school.
I think she was supposed to be in high school.
She was in high school.
In her early 20s, she was in high school, and now she's in her late 20s or almost early 30s.
Damn, she got kept back?
We shouldn't make fun of people who need to be held back. Maggie Grace just happens to be one of those people, right?
Well, I mean, your dad is this super spy. You should be making better grades in school. So
she was taking some sort of brain class from that Seinfeld professor.
Yeah, she was a very smart girl. I don't understand the timeline of this movie universe.
Like she was going to be a neurosurgeon or something.
Anyways, the chase sequence happens in the school. Forrest Whitaker's all like, "Oh, I'm going to catch you." And
at one point, a cop comes around a corner of the school, and Liam Neeson just quickly takes him out like Liam Neeson does, because he's got the skills.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but the camera keeps following him, and you just see that there are 3 college students walking towards Liam Neeson, who had to have seen that he just assaulted a police officer, and yet there's no reaction at all. They were bored of the movie too.
They was like, shit, we might as well just go that way. Look, there's some shit happening over there. Let's go. All the while, Liam Neeson throws a flashbang.
Let's get into the wrong lane of this.
Huh?
Let's get into the wrong lane of this school. A random locker comes rolling out of CGI, and that did not happen. But that would have been.
It would have been great if they did that, though.
They did it.
So Liam Neeson comes, throws a flashbang into a janitor's closet.
At first, I thought it was a grenade. I thought he was going to throw a grenade at somebody.
He did. He pulled the pin. He held it for a while. I was like, oh my God, he's going to murder these cops. It was a flashbang. He threw a flashbang into janitor's closet. Luckily, the janitor was not in there, everyone.
That would have been so great. I didn't even think of that. He just throws a flashbang in the janitor's closet.
Janitor's closet. Apparently, I don't know what the janitor was doing, but the janitor had left the closet open, which I think is dangerous, and the janitor shouldn't do. This is a college with, college kids. They could just get in there.
You could have had Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy hiding in that janitorial closet.
In the janitor's closet doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing.
The most obvious hiding space cliche of all hiding spaces.
Instead of learning.
Flashbang. Elise just throws it in.
Oh yeah, that's what she says in that movie.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the most cliche. I didn't take us to the Bahamas of hiding places. Then Liam Neeson just opens up the door, just throws a flashbang.
Oh yeah, I remember that sequence. By the way, Amazing Spider-Man 2, stupid.
Moving on. Throws a flashbang.
He throws a flashbang. Sets off the sprinkler system, and he gets away because water gets into the cops' eyes, and they can't see clearly anymore. Oh shit! And you got to pick up because I can't remember what's happening in this movie. Huh?
The water gets into their eyes, and they're blinded. And
their water gets into their eyes, and they get blinded. So that's all I remember until the very end. Somebody find out Stu's the freaking villain. Everybody dies.
No.
All right, Andrew wants you.
We don't give up now. For some reason, he starts driving around the country.
Oh yeah, Maggie tells him Stu is acting weird. She just gives him that information, so he's like, I'm gonna go get Stuart. This was so confusing. I thought Stuart was in there's a sequence where Stu is like, okay, get the car, we're leaving, and Stuart gets into a car. Then it cuts to a car driving, and then this SUV comes and pushes the car off the cliff and blows it up. And I thought, oh my God, they just killed Stu because they didn't want Stu to talk about him or something like that.
What?
That's what I thought.
Liam Neeson was the one driving that car.
But I didn't know that until after the fact.
I knew it during the fact because there was like one quick editing chop where you saw Liam Neeson was behind the wheel of a white car. I did
not see that shot.
The thing that screwed with my head was that Liam Neeson, there's nowhere to hide. It's the road, and then there's a very steep mountain cliff on the right side because we're looking at the car, at Liam Neeson's car straight on, and they come out from behind the mountain and clobber him or T-bone his car and try to knock him off the ledge. But just because we can't see it, how come Liam Neeson can't see it? He's not hiding on Liam Neeson's view.
They telephased out of the mountain.
They just came out of the mountain.
They telephased out of the mountain and crashed into Liam Neeson and blew him up. They blew him up.
Yeah, he rolls and you just see like a dummy or something in the driver's seat just bang, 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 flopping around.
Yeah, you see a body in there.
Yeah, a body
blowing up.
He is in the vehicle flying around. No airbags deploy.
Yep. And then
boom. Yeah, boom. Second boom of the movie. Second time he explodes.
Yeah, he blew up in a car twice. The second time he just blowed up in a car.
The second time, though, they at least tried to... Oh, wait. I'm skipping ahead.
You're skipping ahead. So...
Those two guys.
We see Stu now.
Those two guys decide not to check the wreckage. Instead, they look for 2 seconds.
The car blowed up. They don't check around it or anything like that. They stand, they look, and then they say the dumbest line. Like, apparently, they just want to get across to kids about how bad, drinking is. So he says in his native language, "Let's go get drunk." So they go to a liquor store.
They go to a liquor store, ladies and gentlemen. They don't go to a bar or anything.
By stopping a guy who's like, "Screwed over, need to borrow your car. I'm not going to use it for a chase sequence, I promise." The guy's like, all right.
And this is the guy who I thought was the guy who got locked in the safe at the beginning of the movie.
No, it was another guy. So he's driving. He drives him to the liquor store. And he's like, all right, you can go. You're free. The guy's like, okay. Liam Neeson goes to the liquor store, sees the guys in there. He stealth kills one of them, and I thought he was gonna try to stealth kill the other two, but I guess they caught on to him or whatever, and he had to fight those two off. So the main of the henchmen, the guy who had the tattoo in his hand that they saw in the Paranormal Activity video,
the bald Jason Statham guy,
yeah, this
who
guy,
was the assistant to Lloyd Christmas.
Evil Statham, yeah, who was the assistant to Evil Lloyd Christmas. Him and Liam Neeson. Oh, he starts shooting at Liam Neeson. They're shooting at each other. This is just fucking stupid.
Nobody stops. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that too. Like they had.
Yeah.
They're shooting at each other on two sides of
they're both
the
on
counter.
They're both on different aisles. They spotted each other, and instead of taking each other head on, either
the aisles
of them
that
charging,
are next to each other, by the way, they're just shooting at each other. Nobody gets hit at all.
This guy
no
is
stray bullets.
emptying a submachine gun,
A handgun / a machine gun.
just laying waste to all the products, trying to hit Liam Neeson, who is ducked down on the floor. And Liam Neeson is still shooting back for some reason, even though neither of them can see through this shelf. This is a solid wall shelf here. Neither of them can see that they're even close to anybody. For all they know, the other guy could have left the store, which would have been great. The other guy had just left the store already, while the other one is still shooting at this produce aisle.
Just shooting. He just randomly shooting, and he just plays back the video footage and realizes, oh my god, I was shooting. I just wasted half a clip.
Yeah.
Somehow him and Liam Neeson get around the corner of the two aisles and they start fighting.
He's got him down. He gets him down on the ground with a gun to his head.
The guy on his knees with a gun to his head. He's like, "Who are you working for?" And the guy's like, "I ain't telling you shit." He grabs the gun. He grabs the gun and puts it.
I'd rather be dead.
I don't know if he put the gun in his. He did put the gun in his mouth.
It's
he pulled
implied,
the trigger to shoot, but he's perfectly fine. There's no blood spatter on the back of the wall or nothing. He just lays on the ground and blood starts pouring from his head.
It's like he just nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It's like
some sound
shot.
Guy put in a boom noise, or somebody drops a carton of milk or something in the other aisle.
It's the God. Hollywood just hates us, y'all. So they put that in the movie.
So for some reason he decided to murder himself.
He killed himself.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to deal with Lloyd Christmas anymore.
Who is the most
Christmas.
unintimidating villain. And we'll get to the climax of this movie. The climax of this movie.
Lloyd Christmas, y'all.
He was scared of this guy.
How long was this movie? Because there's so much shit in it. It's just stupid.
Well, next he starts waterboarding. He finds Stewart.
He grabs Stewart. He starts waterboarding Stewart.
He waterboards Stewart.
Stewart's like,
I'm not the bad guy. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess you're not the bad guy. Yeah. Apparently he bought a headless parakeet from Lloyd Christmas and couldn't pay him for it. so
dude owed Lloyd Christmas money.
He owed Lloyd Christmas money. So he decided, so he claims that Lloyd Christmas just went after his wife as payment. Okay, we're buddy because you really miss your wife.
Yeah, so he grabs him, he takes him to the back cave. They stealth take down the cops.
Take him to the back cave.
Yeah. They stealth take down the cops and they go get
that's
Maggie.
where you get your payoff of his buddies.
Yeah. The buddies actually do something and they help him stealth take down the cops. They get the daughter. What's her name? I want to call her Maggie. Kim. Her name's Kim in the movie.
Kim Miller.
They get the
oh wait, is it Miller?
No, Kim Brian Mills. Kim
Mills.
Or
Miller is close to Mills.
Anyways,
has an edge to it, a little
And once they stealth take down the cops are like, "Oh man, we the dumbest people in the world." And they take the girl, and one of the guys pulls up in the car. He's like, "Hey, Kim," and he leaves. They all leave with Kim. So they're all in the back cave discussing about how they're going to set up Lloyd Christmas. So they get the plan to go up in Lloyd Christmas's penthouse through his secret elevator, which you need to loop video footage over. And
he's got his old spy friend Avengers. They've all assembled, and they are going in this high-tech spy truck.
So they loop the video because they realized that Lloyd Christmas never saw Speed. And so they loop the video. None of his security henchmen saw Speed either.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah, he gets in the elevator. Stu gets in the elevator, then they switch out. Liam Neeson goes up, does his thing, shoots everybody. Lloyd Christmas
does his thing.
Lloyd Christmas comes out.
He was in a love jacuzzi with
two women. Jacuzzi with two women. So
and he was very perturbed to hear Liam Neeson coming in and killing all his men.
Yeah, so he comes out with a silk robe on, an assault rifle, and he's in his tighty whities, ladies and gentlemen. Like, just draws.
So you got this...
No shirt, just his silk robe.
You got this pasty white Russian guy with a bowl haircut like Lloyd Christmas, wearing a silk robe and a bulge in his whitey tighties with an assault rifle.
It looked like it was the what do you call that? It looked like it was making fun of Taken. Oh, a parody movie. It looked like something from a parody movie.
Yeah, because he's firing this assault rifle just from across a room at Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson just randomly decides, I'm going to leave cover twice, and he runs past some glass so some glass can shatter for action, because it's action scene.
I'm not sure if Lloyd Christmas was wearing shoes or slippers, or he didn't have anything on. I don't think he had anything on.
I don't think so, yeah.
Because Liam Neeson should have just shot the glass.
So he just ran past some glass, and he was hiding behind another column now. He should have been he should have at least been scathed like 50 times while he was running
your
past
villains
this
of
guy.
movies from the 90s are smarter than your heroes of the movies of today. Anyways.
And then somehow it gets close enough for a fist fight to start or something.
Oh! They were fighting, but your boy was out of bullets. Lloyd Christmas was out of bullets, so he was using the assault. I'm just going to assume he was out of bullets.
Liam Neeson just completely decimated about 50 guys on his way in here.
Yeah.
With no problem. But Liam Neeson, this 6'7" tall guy, going up against this shrimp bowl cut, pasty white, only in his tidy whities guy with an empty assault rifle.
I probably would have been intimidated by that too. Maybe this villain was like the best villain because he
didn't know what to do. Liam Neeson,
came
what would
out
you do?
in his drawers. You're like, oh my god, this dude really must be the craziest dude ever. So he was freaking
He's
out.
dressed
Like I don't know
like
how
Lloyd
crazy he is. So I gotta pull my punches on him or something.
Yeah, and then he just starts taking it to town like he's gonna be. And he has Liam Neeson in a situation where he could easily kill him.
But
he starts choking him with the assault rifle.
we're gonna assume the assault rifle was out of bullets.
At the time, I actually did not assume it was out of bullets. I just assumed Lloyd Christmas just started choking Liam Neeson with an assault rifle and thought that was a good idea based on his particular set of skills and how many people he's knocked out with 2 hits earlier in this movie. This pasty white guy in tidy whities with bowl cut in a silk robe was choking, thought it was a good idea to go up behind this 6'7" Liam Neeson skills boy and start choking him with an assault rifle, ladies and gentlemen.
And while he has his tiny whities on, I don't know if it was intentional or the film crew was just like, we just gotta have a good shot of the crotch where it is just like, you just stuff something into this drawers or something so you can have this huge crotch shot.
There's definitely some tissue or something in there.
Something was in there. The guy was overcompensating or something. He should have put towels in there before he went down to face Liam Neeson. That's what intimidated Liam Neeson.
Oh, that's a great deleted scene right there.
Yeah, we should have had that. But eventually Liam Neeson shoots him in the chest and they have a conversation because he wasn't ready to die yet. He needed to give Liam Neeson the information. So apparently Stu wanted the Russian to kill the wife so he could collect the insurance money. Liam Neeson was like, oh, you wanted me to kill you, but he wanted you to kill me. He just was playing us both against each other. We're both crazy, and you're in your underwear. Urgh.
Whoa, there's the chess piece, sir. They were both pawns. Get it? Get it? This director is brilliant, sir. This is amazing. They were both pawns in this guy's plan.
Completely changes but Forrest Whitaker was holding the pawn piece.
He was holding the knight. This guy was the knight. He was the pure one who was looking out for your boy.
Oh, Forrest Whitaker
who was
is
a pawn.
The champion. He's the Dark Knight. He really is the Dark Knight of this movie.
There you go.
Okay.
Maggie Grace all of a sudden sees a text message that was supposedly sent from her father's phone the night that her mother was killed. I don't know why the text message showed up on the vehicle computer that she happened to be sitting in from.
Because the script said so, Andrew.
The script said that she needed this information, so she just randomly saw a text message that was erased from somebody's phone earlier in the movie.
Yes.
It just appeared on her screen. She wasn't looking for it. It just appeared in front of her screen because she needed to know.
It showed up, and she needed to look at it. So she looked at it, and Stu realized.
She starts texting her dad upstairs.
He's like, oh shit, you gotta come see this text message. It's really raunchy. And Stu's like, no. And he pulls out a gun and he starts.
He shoots Sam.
He shoots dude that I really, really liked. I really like that character, and I hope he survived. They say that he was still alive, and they should have, resolved and made sure he was still alive. I didn't get to see that shot. I was very
They
upset.
made one line that made it sound like he was alive, and you turned to me in the theater. It was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank God he's still alive, because I really like Liam Neeson's crew members, all of them. They were very cool. Yeah, he shot him. I was very upset. So I hope they kill this guy. They didn't kill Stu. Stu gets on an airplane with Maggie, Kim. I thought it was going to be revealed that, he got an insurance policy on her too, but it wasn't. It was just insurance policy on the wife to collect the money.
See, apparently the insurance policy was also on himself and the wife. So was he about to fake his own death in an airplane? What was his plan? How was he going to get the insurance money that was on his own?
He was going to pretend like Maggot shot him, I guess.
Which
Maggot should have just killed him anyways in the movie. It would have been a great ending to the whole series.
Yeah, her training never pays off until maybe Taken 4.
So anyways,
Liam Neeson is driving around crazy in a Porsche.
Driving a Porsche. And
Forrest Whitaker is like, hey, give me that phone number of that random car he just stole. And they're like, okay. And so he calls the stolen car that Liam Neeson's in. It's like, hey, buddy, we're on the same side here. And then Liam Neeson puts this question towards him. And if you answer, it's like almost like, if you answer this question wrong, I'm going to hang up on you. He's got this tone in his voice.
He's like, what's your number one priority? He's like, I got to uphold the law and bring in this dude. He's like, my number one priority is my daughter. Dude, he hangs up the phone. so Liam Neeson.
And you get a little tick.
Yeah. Again.
Where's my bagel?
So Liam Neeson, that's another thing.
They did have a random scene where Forrest Whitaker, before the climax, was eating another bagel in the restaurant.
He went to the thing in the
this all
bagel.
out.
Early in the movie, I thought of this when it was like, when Forrest Whitaker was talking. I was like, why don't they just go look at the timestamp of the security camera at the bagel shop and compare it to when the wife died? Was
it verified that there was a security camera at the bagel shop?
Yes, because he's sitting in there eating, and then he looks at that camera, and then he realizes, oh my God, we need to get the camera footage and that's when they go look at the paranormal activity camera footage from the gas station again to see what happened. And that's when they see she gets taken by the ring girl.
So his first thought, upon realizing, he remembers, I'm eating a bagel from this restaurant right now because I
really
really
like that bagel. And it was the same exact restaurant, because I remember the logo on the bag. It was the same. He went and got the same exact bagels.
So he went to this restaurant to go back to where it all started from.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a eureka moment whenever he looks at a camera.
It wasn't eureka enough because
It wasn't eureka
he
enough.
didn't look at that camera and realize, let me check the timestamp to see if Brian Mills was actually in here when his ex-wife died. And he refused to do that because, script reasons.
It's like, oh, now I get it. I need to go back to that gas station for the second act of the movie.
Turns out Forrest Whitaker is not the Dark Knight of this movie, ladies and gentlemen. He is not a hero. He is stupid. Anyways.
And by the way, his department took half the movie to zoom in and find that tattoo on the guy's arm that linked him to Malenkov.
Yeah.
Or Lloyd
The
Christmas,
henchman
sorry
who
for you guys.
put a gun in his mouth and killed himself.
Which Liam Neeson was able to do just by looking at a small monitor in a gas station. He was able to see that tattoo earlier.
He must have used his Aslan powers and zoomed in with his own eyes. Then Liam Neeson does the craziest thing ever.
And Forrest Whitaker hears about this before Forrest Whitaker is about to start chasing him in the traffic. And the most amazing scene in the movie happens, Raymond, where they're at Stewart's investigating how Liam Neeson got in and took Kim away.
Oh, shit.
And then they get word that he's on his way out.
Yeah, they trace Stewart's phone, and they know that Stewart is at this building downtown. He lied. Stewart was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just in at this place," and then they realize Stewart's not there. Forrest Whitaker. He goes. He's in charge of everything.
He's got a tip, and he's hot, and he's ready to go.
Everybody, let's go. Get in the car. Come on, move. Let's move. And he drives off, and the camera lingers on 3 cops just standing around, not giving a shit.
There were just
these 3 cops.
It was It had to be intentional comedy because it was set up at a flat angle. You just see the car pull away, and in the background are these three cops. Like they didn't even hear him.
I'm not listening to this fool. I can't stand this fool. I hate this dude. He could burn in hell for all I give a shit. Like there was so many words coming off their body language from Forrest Whitaker getting pumped and the music swelling. He's like, yeah, let's go. Everybody, get ready. Get in the car. We got to move, people. We got to move. And he drives, and the three cops, just one guy just looks and turns his head back. Just not giving a shit. It's like, I guess, it's my day off. I'm taking off. It's very funny.
Liam Neeson drives a Porsche to the airport, and just as Stewart is about to take off with Kim as a hostage, apparently the pilots are completely okay that he's holding a young lady at gunpoint in their aircraft.
They getting paid, bruh. They getting paid.
Either way, let's go.
So they leave.
They're trying to leave. They're trying to leave. They can't get enough speed, and Liam Neeson is charging diagonally towards this plane.
Somehow is able to use his Aslan powers and get the trajectories right. Runs into the front tires of the airplane with a Porsche where he should have crashed and blew up. I'm not sure what the velocity is or what, but I know how physics works, and he should have been dead. But apparently,
explosion number 3.
It is. There's
explosion
a 33. Taking 3, explosion number 3, telephasing.
Number 3.
He goes, he hits the car and survives.
It doesn't cause him to spin out of control or anything.
He does like a slight curved turn, and that's it.
It's a wonderful promotion for Porsche. They have excellent build quality, guys. Check them out.
Buy a Porsche because you will not need airbags.
You never know when you want to take down an airplane on a runway. You gotta get a Porsche.
Oh man. So he pulls Stu out. Well, Stu comes out with Kim, and then Kim finally uses her training and elbows Stu and
uses her advanced spy training.
She uses her advanced spy training, elbows Stu, and Liam Neeson shoots Stu, I guess in the chest or leg. I don't know where he shot him at, but he shot him.
It wasn't in the penis because he was alive.
Yeah. So he pulls the guy out. He pulls him out of the car. Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going. Oh God, it's a little late, everybody. He grabs Stu and he's like, I know you got good lawyers. You'll probably get out of jail in a few years, but you know who I am, and I will get you. And then it ends with Liam Neeson talking to his new son-in-law, as we presume, and talking to his daughter.
I'm happy with whatever decision you guys make. Well, Dad, we just want to let you know, if it's a girl, we're gonna name it Lenora. And then in case Liam Neeson didn't get it, after mom, just in case you didn't know, Liam Neeson, that was her name in this movie. You didn't know
the woman you love's name was Lenora.
It's like, we're going to name it after Mom. And he's like, I think she'd like that. He just does his Liam Neeson laugh.
Liam Neeson voice and laugh.
Liam Neeson laugh. And then it just starts pulling off. It just immediately cuts after that, very abruptly. And then it starts pulling back from the pier that they're at. And credits start to roll.
And we did not get a 2 years later sequence where both Liam Neeson and Kim show up and they shoot Stu. So we didn't get that. And I was very upset that didn't happen. And then the credits roll, and it's like starring Liam, like the credits, like the actual rolling part of the credits start. And it's like Liam Neeson is Brian Mills, Phil Jansen is Lenora whoever, and it wasn't Maggie.
It was Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker as Detective Bagel. And then, and for some disrespectful reason, they put "and the rest of the cast,"
which was great.
It was a surprise. It was very funny. And that was the damn movie, y'all.
Now that we've done the full run through, what are some general thoughts about the movie overall?
I just noticed, I guess they realized we're just gonna have people getting taken.
We're 3 people taken in this movie. 3 people were taken in this movie.
The same 3 people who were taken in the other 2 movies. His daughter was taken in this movie at one point, and him and Lenora were taken in this movie at one point.
But then you also had Stewart taken at one point as well.
Who took Stewart? Oh, they took Stewart.
Liam Neeson took Stewart. So we had 4 people taken and taken 3. You're getting some value with this one, folks.
Oh, no, you're not.
The action
I don't
wasn't...
know what to say. Yeah, it wasn't an action movie at all. It was a chase movie.
Yeah.
Which was not what people wanted to see. It's not what, if you like the first movie, you'll probably think this one's better than the second movie, which it is, actually. But I didn't really care for it that much. I just thought the first movie was better than this. There was actual action sequences.
From the very outside of the movie, there's only two options for who the villain is. They introduce one guy who's supposed to be the villain, and then they set up Stewart to look like the villain. So it's either going to be one or the other, and they don't try to do a plot twist with it. Whenever the action does come, it's just very, very choppily edited. Action scenes have to be edited fast, but there's no rhythm to it. The speed, it does. I don't mind that it's that fast, but at the same time, there's no logic that I can follow.
Terrible editing.
A lot of moments start off good. There was a moment where he has to tell Maggie Grace, his daughter, over the phone what just happened to his mother. He wants to be the one to tell her. And that scene was actually slightly working.
The scenes where it's Liam Neeson and Maggie Grace together, they do well together. They have great chemistry. They're just, they're two good actors. They're probably the best part of the movie for me, was those two.
And I do like the little ticks that Forrest Whitaker put into his character. I don't know if the director came up with that or if it was actually in the script, or maybe just the actor himself said, I want to fiddle with a rubber band in this scene. But he did add something to the movie. Somebody,
decision-making people for this movie need to come up with better decisions in life. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see more of the old gang as well. We only got a little bit. I thought they were all going to come in for the climax, but that doesn't really go anywhere.
We could have got an action sequence. Nope.
Yeah, you have just 4 Liam Neeson veterans taking on all these guys together. Would have been amazing.
Yeah, I'm done with Taken. I would give it a 2-star rating. I'd watch it.
A 2-star out of?
Out of 5. It's probably something I would watch again if it were on TV and I was bored. Just put in the background or something. It's really not what it should have been. Very disappointing stuff.
Yeah, it's not a gritty movie at all. He doesn't too many of his skills at all throughout the whole movie.
His particular set of skills don't get used a lot at all.
No, he doesn't. He tries his hardest not to kill anybody because he knows he has to make a PG-13. So he just hits people a lot and knocks them out. And only whenever he has to use a gun does he use a gun. That could be argued as a character progression for the other movies. Trying to be more of a family man. Get out of that kind of line of work.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill the cops. So...
But I'm talking about stuff like at the liquor store.
Yeah.
I guess you don't want to make a mess for the people at the gas station that have to clean up. Lots of gas stations in this movie.
It's very weird when they make movies to where the heroes get hunted and you're used to seeing them, killing bad guys, and then you gotta stop them, from attacking the cops. It's just chase movie now when we're being chased around. Write a better script.
All right. Thank you all for all 3 of you who listened to this whole thing.
We will be doing this again. Hopefully we can get more than 3 people to listen next time. And we look forward.
Tell 2 of your friends.
Yeah, and have them tell 2 more.
Yes.
Hope we entertained you guys. Yeah, this is our first podcast. We hope we did well. We hope we did very good, actually. And we hope to, see you guys for more films in the next weeks. Coming up.
All right. For the Parking Lot Projectionists Movie Podcast for Taken 3, Andrew.
And Raymond.
Shutting it down.